Hey everybody, welcome to Hat Hole Home Video. Taking it on the move. This channel is mobile today because I want to drive by a few places that I have a lot of nostalgia for. And this channel is so focused on my own personal nostalgia, and that usually takes the form of things, toys, TV shows, movies. You know, it's the tangible things that sort of made up my childhood. And I realized one of the missing components was the places. And sadly, especially over the last few years, a lot of the places that I am most nostalgic for have been demolished in the name of progress. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot, as some might say. And I want to show you what they look like now and what they looked like in my memory. Because I really feel like even though things are gone, the way things are now will be gone someday. And maybe people, someone, somewhere, some kid today will find this video 20 or 30 years from now and be nostalgic for the way it looks today. So I figure, why not capture the way it was and the way it is for the future. So coming up on our left, to the left, you will notice probably the most important intersection of my whole life, especially of my childhood. It's the intersection I grew up on. Unfortunately, we will start to see the orange construction cones. The corner basically does not resemble the corner that I grew up on anymore. My childhood home is gone. The 49 Club, the bar that I grew up next to, is gone. The only thing left that you can really get a sense of where you are is the American Insurance Building, which is actually the old video store that I grew up next to. That's the video store that you will notice I use as the exterior for Hat Hole Home Video. Sorry, I've got bikers on my right that I'm trying not to hit, so I'm a little distracted, but oh, it's Farmers Insurance. It was American Family Insurance at one point. But that is the video store that you know, meant so much to me growing up. I'm glad that it still exists. I'm glad at least of all the buildings that could still be standing right now. I'm glad it's the old video store. And then right next to the video store was J&K Liquors, which I think in my adult years became Metro Liquors. That's one of the 49 Club and J&K Liquors were the two places that were my first couple odd jobs when I was a little kid. I raked out the backyard. By the way, both of them had apartments above them, and I think both of them, the owners lived in the apartments above the businesses, which to this day, I still think is so incredibly cool to live above your business. But I suppose that kind of stinks because you can never get away from your business. But yeah, the 49 Club was a dump. It was a blight on the community. It was a really dumpy little bar and grill. Every night at 2 in the morning, my bedroom window faced the back parking lot where the dumpster was, and every night at 2 in the morning, an employee would come out with the bags of beer bottles and would huck them into the dumpster. So every night at 2 a.m., rain or shine, it would just be boom, 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 boom. It was as if it was in the room with me. It was so loud. I'll never forget that. I think it, you know, I live very close to an airport now, and I think it is one of the main reasons I am very desensitized to the ambient noise outside my home. You might notice in some videos, you can hear airplanes going over. And I don't even notice it when I'm filming. If I notice it when I'm filming, I will pause and wait for it to go by. But half the time, I just don't even notice. It is really sad to see all of that gone. It's gonna be it already is very different. You know, I will devote an actual episode to my childhood home. Obviously that deserves, I think, its own video, but it is so weird to see, you know, the house I grew up in for 30 years, whatever. We moved out of St. Paul when I was like 4 or 5. So yeah, but it's crazy that's gone. And the 49 Club was torn down quite a few years ago because it sat abandoned for a decade, something like that. It just abandoned, falling apart. It was a blight upon the community, and it finally was demolished. And I'll tell you, for someone who has, like, I'm nostalgic for the 49 Club, very, very nostalgic for the 49 Club. I actually tracked down an old ashtray, which I think is from probably the very early 70s, maybe the very late 60s. It's hard to pin down, but obviously I have a lot of nostalgia for that place, but at the same time, it was a giant hassle to grow up next to. So I have my family has very negative opinions of the 49 Club, but when it was torn down, so many people were so upset in the community. There were so many people that were like sitting there solemnly staring at where the 49 Club was, like sadly, you know, mourning the 49 Club. And it's like, dude, it's been abandoned for 10 years. Like, it's been dead for 10 years. Like, you should have been, if you're gonna grieve, like, you had plenty of time to grieve. But it was just weird, just very weird. And, oh, these people. No one ever knows how to drive. No one ever knows how to use a turn signal. That's the fun of, you know, doing a video on the move, I guess. It's spontaneous. Lightning could strike, a UFO could land, Bigfoot could come walking in front of the car. You never know. So there you go. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I will get out of your hair. It was fun. Thanks for coming along for the drive. I think you will definitely be seeing more of these videos. If you like them, awesome. But I understand if you don't like them, because this is my nostalgia, and this is starting to get really specific nostalgia. This is not like, oh, hey, you know, I love Return of the Living Dead when I was growing up, and you can be like, yeah, me too. This video is like, hey, you know, I'm really nostalgic for the corner of Hodgson and County Road J in Lino Lakes, Minnesota, and I don't know if there's anybody else that has that same nostalgia. So I can definitely understand if this is something people aren't particularly into, but that's fine. This is something I'm doing for me. This is something I'm doing to have this record for myself. So ultimately, I love that you're along for the ride, but you don't need to be if you don't want to be. I'm doing these videos anyway. So thank you for watching. You know that whether you are a dirty dog sleeping in the sun or an alley rat eating up the night, that you are always welcome here at Hat Hole Home Video, or there at Hat Hole Home Video. If like, it's me, it's the channel, but we're talking about a physical place, and it's over. I'm not there right now. It's over there. So, bye.